Hello and welcome to this video where we are going to learn how to play the 5 positions of the pentatonic scale anywhere on the neck in any key. This is going to be part 1 of a 2-part series. In this video we're going to go through the logic behind it, we're going to go through how I visualise the pentatonic scales, how I play them, how I see them on the fretboard. And then in the second video, I'm going to show you a little exercise that you can play to help practice this and get the idea under your fingers a little bit more. So that video will be linked at the end of this one. Make sure you go and check that out. Now, before we get into this, there are 2 things that we need to already have a decent understanding of. One is how we actually play the pentatonic scale, what the different positions of it are, and what the fingering for them is. So if you don't know that already, I have another video about it, which I'm going to link on screen just now. In that video, we go through the 5 positions of the pentatonic scale in the key of A minor, so make sure you check that out. And then the other thing we need to know is the notes of the fretboard on the bottom 3 strings. So that's the low E, A and D string. Fortunately for you, I also have a video on that if you're not familiar with it. So go and check out that video, get comfortable with that, and then come back and we can get stuck into this idea. So if you have seen those videos and you are comfortable with all that, then that means we can get stuck in and we can try and play the pentatonic scale in loads of different keys anywhere on the fretboard. So let's take a closer look at how we do that. So if we want to play the pentatonic scale anywhere on the neck in any key, all we need to do is figure out where our root note is on the bottom 3 strings. And then if we put a specific finger on the root note on one of those strings, that will set us up to play a specific position of the pentatonic scale. So I'll show you what I mean. Let's take F minor as our first example. So where is the note F on the bottom 3 strings? Well, we can find it at the 1st fret on the low E string, or we can find it at the 8th fret on the A string, or at the 3rd fret on the D string. So let's take the 1st fret, the low E string, as our first example. Here's the note F. If we put our first finger on that root note, well, now we're in the perfect place to play position 1. All familiar with that. If instead we put our pinky on that same root note, I've not got enough frets to do this in F minor, so I'm just going to move up 1 octave, so that's 12 frets. So here's the note F again. If I put my pinky on that root note on the low E string, well, now I'm in the perfect place to play position 5 of the pentatonic scale. Let's look at the D string now. If I find my root note on the D string, so there it is at the 3rd fret, if I put my 3rd finger on that root note in the D string, now I'm in the perfect place to play position 1 again. If I was to instead put my 1st finger on that same root note on the D string, well, now I'm in the perfect place to play position 2 of the pentatonic scale. And then if we find our root note on the A string, so here it was at the 8th fret, put our 3rd finger on that. Now we're in the perfect place to play position 3 of the pentatonic scale. And finally, if we put our 1st finger on the root note on the A string, well, now we're in the perfect place to play position 4 of the pentatonic scale. Oops. So let's take another key as an example just to really cement this idea. So let's take C minor this time. Where is the note C on the low E, A and D string? Well, on the low E string, we'll find it at fret 8. On the A string, we'll find it at fret 3. And on the D string, we'll find it at fret 10. So that's our 3 root notes, that's our note C. So if we put our first finger on the root note on the low E string, we can play position 1. If we put our pinky on the root note on the low E string, we can play position 5. If we go onto the A string, put our third finger on the root, now we can play position 3. And if we put our first finger on the root note on the A string, we can play position 4. And finally, if we find the root note on the D string, put our third finger on that root note, we can still play position 1. And if we put our first finger on that root note, now we can play position 2. So you can take that idea, just change the root note you're starting from, and then you can apply this to any key you want, and you can play the pentatonic scales in any key in 5 positions on the fretboard. But what's actually the point in being able to do that? Well, as guitar players, the main reason we're ever going to want to play any of these scales is going to be for improvising. Beyond that, it's just going to be a pretty boring technical exercise. So I'll get a few different scenarios for you that we can go through that will show hopefully why it's important that we have this skill. So scenario number 1, and all of these I'm going to do in G minor, by the way, just for the sake of it really. Scenario 1, let's say the only position of the pentatonic scale you know is position 1. Well, there's only so much you can do with that. Eventually your solos are all going to start sounding the same if you're only using this one finger pattern and this one position on the neck for every solo. And if they do all start to sound the same and they become predictable, your listeners aren't going to want to listen to them anymore, because they're going to know, yeah, I've heard all this before. Yeah, there's that lick that he always plays in that one pentatonic position. They want something new. So being able to play the 5 positions opens up all this extra space on the fretboard. I mean, it's sitting right there, we may as well use it, and we can create new and more interesting phrases. But let's say you know how to play all 5 positions of the pentatonic scale, but you know them all relative to where position 1 is. So like, I know position 1 is here, so then that means I know position 2 will be here, so I know position 3 will be here. Again, your solos are all going to start sounding pretty predictable because they're always going to start off in position 1 and then they're going to move into position 2 and then they're going to move into position 3, and again it's all going to start sounding the same because they're always going to start off the same way. Or let's say you're playing some rhythm part, you're playing a little riff. So you're playing something that's like up here. Say that's, I don't know, that's the main riff in your song. That's a pretty terrible little riff, but I don't know, maybe playing a pretty terrible band, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, let's say that's our riff. We're playing that, and then we need to take a solo. Why should we jump our hand all the way back down to here to play position 1? And then start building our solo from that, when we could just stay in the position we were already in. So we know we're in G minor. Where's my root note G? There's a G there on the A string. I know if I put my first finger on a root note on the A string, I can play position 4. So then that means I can just jump right in, and we can start playing a solo in that position, and then we can work out from that. Or finally, let's say you know all your positions well and you're taking a solo and you're moving about all over the neck and it's going great, and then we're soloing. And then we get lost and all of a sudden we don't know where we are anymore. Well, we could do one of two things. We can either jump back to position 1 because we know it and it's safe, and play all the same licks we played before to start off our solo, and start off our solo all over again. Or we can stay in that position we were in where we got lost, and we can think, right, where's my root note? Where's the nearest root note to me here? Well, there's one on the low E string, and if I put my pinky on a root note on the low E string, I can play position 5. And now we're back. Now we know where we are again, and we can continue our solo where we left off before we got lost and started making mistakes, and we don't need to go right back to square one again. So thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to watch the second part where I'm going to give you an actual practical exercise that you can do to help practice the different positions of the pentatonic scale in different keys and help you practice how to build a scale based off of a root note on one of the bottom strings. Also, don't forget, please subscribe to my channel, please like the videos. I appreciate all the support that you can give me. So until the next one, happy practicing.